I remember that day like it was yesterday. The air thick with betrayal and disbelief. My best friend Sarah stood before our classmates, her laughter ringing in my ears as she unveiled my deepest secret, the dream I had nurtured since childhood, to be a writer. It was supposed to be a sanctuary, a world only I inhabited, but she ripped it open and declared it a joke. Why waste your time on stories when your family thinks you should be focusing on a real career? The whispers that followed were suffocating. A disgrace, they said, shaking their heads, as if my passion were a contagious disease. My heart shattered, each beat a reminder of betrayal, a reminder of the trust we'd built over years of shared dreams and midnight confessions. I felt humiliated, like a deflated balloon stripped of color and life. But in that brokenness, something ignited inside me, a flicker of defiance. I knew then that I had to leave this town, this cage of doubt that had once felt like home. I packed my bags and set off to prove them wrong, to show Sarah and everyone else that my dreams were not a waste. The struggle was real. I faced endless nights spent in coffee shops, pouring sweat and tears into my writing, drowning out the whispers of "you'll never make it." The rejection letters piled up like autumn leaves, each one a reminder of the world's indifference. But with every no, my resolve hardened. I transformed pain into prose, turning the humiliation into fuel for my words. Years passed, and the shadows of doubt began to recede. I published my first novel, each page an echo of my journey through betrayal and resilience. When it hit the bestseller list, I felt the rush of vindication, every scoff, every doubter silenced by the power of my words. And then came the day I returned home. The air was thick with memories, but I was no longer the girl who had once been humiliated. I walked down the familiar streets, the same ones that had witnessed my downfall, head held high, heart ablaze with triumph. There they were, Sarah, her laughter now a bitter memory, and the townspeople who had once doubted my worth. I approached them, my pulse quickening, but instead of rage or resentment, I felt a calm resolve. "I did it," I said, my voice steady. I turned betrayal into my greatest triumph. Their eyes widened, disbelief mingling with shame as they absorbed the truth. I didn't need to shout, didn't need to demand respect. My success spoke for itself. I was no longer a disgrace, but a beacon of what could be accomplished when one dares to dream against all odds. In that moment, I realized the power of transformation. The girl they had once ridiculed had risen, unbroken and unstoppable. I had proven that my passion was not just a dream, it was my calling, and nothing could dim its light. As I walked away, I felt lighter, unshackled from the weight of their judgment. My words would continue to echo, not just on pages, but in the hearts of those who dared to listen. I had become the author of my own redemption, and I was ready to write the next chapter.